The blocks in the Programmer Blocks panel are general purpose and can be used with both the Easy Pneumatics and Easy Motor controllers. The Wait block pauses the system between steps in the program sequence. When placed between two actions, it creates a delay before moving on to the next step. Users can set both the duration and the unit of time, whether in seconds, minutes, hours, or days. The value can be entered as either a whole number or a decimal. The Wait for User block is used to include a planned pause in the automated motion sequence. For instance, if a user needs to step away during a test but wants to inspect the process partway through, the Wait for User block allows them to do so. The sequence will pause until the user either clicks the Clear Wait for User button on the HMI or triggers the remote input, such as a button or foot pedal connected to the remote input receptacle on the control box. Note that only Easy Pneumatics includes the remote input option. If you're using only Easy Motor, the sequence can only be resumed by using the Clear Wait for User button on the HMI. The Wait for Sensor block can be used with the remote input receptacle or with one of the 8 M8 receptacles on the Easy Pneumatics controller, typically used for pneumatic actuator position sensors. For example, if a user wants to trigger an action with a proximity sensor, they would simply plug the sensor into the appropriate receptacle on the control box and select that location in the Wait for Sensor block. The user can then define the condition to trigger the action either when the sensor is activated or deactivated. For reference, the Wait for Sensor block is triggered by the rising edge of a signal, such as when a button is pressed or a foot pedal is depressed. In contrast, the Wait for User block is triggered by the falling edge of a signal, such as when a button or foot pedal is released. The Repeat block allows users to repeat a specified set of actions within a sequence. For example, to repeat an extend and retract action, simply drag the Repeat block into the program, then place the desired extend and retract blocks inside it. Finally, set the number of repetitions in the Repeat block as needed. The If-Then Statement block triggers actions based on if-then logic. For example, if a user wants to extend an air cylinder only when a limit switch is triggered, this can be achieved using the If-Then Statement block. To do this, drag the If-Then Statement block into the program, configure the sensor and status in the drop-down menus, then drag the block for the desired action into the Then section. The Else section can be left empty or filled with another action block depending on the user's needs. For reference, like the Wait for Sensor block, the If-Then Statement block is triggered by the rising edge of a signal, not the falling edge. The Exit Repeat Loop block is used alongside the If-Then Statement block. For example, a user might set up a repeat loop to extend and retract cylinders while also monitoring a sensor to exit the loop prematurely if the sensor deactivates. In this case, instead of completing the originally specified number of repetitions, the loop would end early if the sensor deactivates. To create this sequence, the user would first place extend and retract blocks within the Then section of an If-Then Statement block, select the sensor being monitored, and set its status to activated in the Test If field. Finally, nest the If-Then Statement block within a repeat block. The stop program block functions similarly to the exit repeat loop block and is often used with the if-then statement block. It allows users to stop the entire program based on a specified condition.